Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J Dog. I'm your host, J Dog, aka government name Justin Hale. Got a big show lined up for you today. It might be probably one of the longer ones I've done. We're going to go over the Big 12. Excuse me. We're going to do over-under win totals for all 16 teams, and I'm going to tell you who I think is going to play in the Big 12 title game. And ultimately, who will win the Big 12 and earn a playoff bid. Got a small bit of Tennessee news to go over today. The basketball non-conference schedule was released, so we know a few teams were playing and win out of conference. I'm going to go over the big dogs that we're going to play. And I'm going to go over where the media picked us to finish in the SEC and football at media days. And we got three guys. That's it on all SEC teams from the media's picks. So we're going to go over that. Y'all buckle up. Grab your chips. Grab your salsa. Grab your popcorn. Whatever snack you fancy. Kick back. Relax. Without further ado, let's go. All right, we're going to start with the teams in the Big 12. I'm going to go through them one for one. I'm going to not necessarily go over every single game on their schedule. Just going to kind of glance over it. They got their over-under win total attached here too. So we're going to take a peek here, and I'm going to tell you if I think they go over or under the win total. And we will go through all the teams, and at the end, I'll tell you which teams I think will be in the title game and which team wins the playoff berth. Okay, Iowa State. They actually play the first game of the year. It's week 0. I think it's August 24th now in Kansas State. It's a week before the Vols and everybody else play. So, Kansas State, it's our first game. That's going to be a tough one. I think whether they win or lose that one will be really the tipping point where they go over right under the 7.5 wins. They got Arkansas State, South Dakota. That's 2 wins for sure. I'm going to give them a win. Have BYU at home. I'm going to give them a win at Cincinnati. There's 4. The Big 12 is deep, y'all. They're not really have any title contenders, but from top to bottom, it's about the most even conference you're going to get. So it's really hard to pick these over-unders on here. 7.5. I'm going to give them those wins I just said. I'm going to give them Arizona. That's 5. Oh, man. I don't know if I see. I'll give them 7. I'll give them. So if you're a betting man and you believe in me, so I'm not sure I would. Like I said, I do bet a little bit and I do win a little money here and there, but I also do lose money. So this is all for fun. Y'all, if you do tell me, don't attack the messenger, okay? So I'm going to give Iowa State 7 wins. I could see them going more than that with Rocco Becht, their quarterback, is one of the best in the Big 12, so you've always got a puncher's chance if your quarterback's hot. I'm going under on Iowa State. I doubt there's any Iowa State fans watching right now. Hopefully, as the channel goes, they will be. I'm starting to incorporate all college football like I said I would as the season gets closer. So I'm going to reach a broader audience. Obviously, I'm a biased Tennessee fan, but I will call these as I see them, even the Tennessee games. So right here we got West Virginia. Their over-under is 5.5. Basically got a whole new team this year. They do return their quarterback. Nico Marichal, or however you say it, Marichal. Buddy's a big West Virginia fan. I do like they got Rich Rod back. Their favorite hit the under. With Rich Rod back and Pat McAfee throwing some money to him. Let's see here. What? Four shore wins. Got Robert Morris. That's a four shore win. Ohio. That's a for sure win. That's really their only for sure wins on the schedule. Houston is a toss-up. UCS a toss-up. BYU be a toss-up. About every game on there is a toss-up. For some reason, I like Rich Rod. I like what he done at Jackson State. I like what he done at West Virginia when he was there before. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they hit the over. I'm going to give them 7 wins. I think they pull off a few of these home games against Pitt, TCU, Colorado. I think they can get 1 or 2 of those. Scott Frost back at UCF. His Nebraska tenure was terrible. I'm not sure I have too much faith in him. Kansas, it all depends on their quarterback being healthy, which he's not been. So I see him busting out 7 wins somehow on that schedule. If you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. I'm sure my buddy will agree because all of us want our teams to succeed. But I will say he's one that can look at it through a non-blue and gold tinted windows. He's pretty realistic when it comes to that stuff. I try to be with Tennessee. There was a few years there when we sucked. I kept giving myself false hope, but it finally paid off. All right, Kansas State's over/under win total is 8.5. They're -110 either way, so Vegas don't really have a favorite which way they think they're going to go. Sorry, my mouth's dry. Oh, shoot. Start with Iowa State. Then they got, I don't even know who that is. Might be North Dakota. Something, I'll give them a win there. Then Army, I'll give them a win there. UCF, give them a win there. Colorado, give them a win there. Kansas State, 8.5. Got Baylor, Arizona. I'm gonna give them over. I like K-State. I like their coach. I like their quarterback. If he gets a little more accurate this year, he's got the legs for sure. He's tough. He just wasn't a very good passer last year. But all it takes is one off season to develop, and K-State always seems to be around that 8 or 9 win total. So this is the way that schedule goes. The ones I see is home games, away games. I'm gonna give them 9 wins. So I'd take the over on K-State if I was a betting man. Look out for Avery Johnson to really take a step in the right direction this year. I will be their quarterback. So if you're putting money on it, I like DraftKings. FanDuel's pretty good. I just don't like how FanDuel makes me put a code in every time you get on there. So if you're rocking with me on that, we're going to go K-State over 8.5. So we're going to give them 9 wins. Moving right along here, let's go to Colorado. Coach Prime. Man, I did a bad job making this little picture here for us, but it's good enough for us to look at here. They got the over-under win total 6.5. Whew. I know they got Caden Salter, former Vol player. Couldn't stay out of trouble. Got kicked off the team after Heupel suspended him. As soon as he reinstated him, the idiot got in trouble again, got kicked off, had to go play at Liberty under Hugh Freeze. I figured he'd follow Hugh Freeze to Auburn. He didn't. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. He's at Colorado now. 6.5 wins. I don't know about that. Losing Travis Hunter, best player in college football, him, Ashton Jeanty, and Shedeur, even though I don't think Shedeur is the greatest quarterback in the world. I like Shane Gillis' joke at the ESPYs. I don't know if y'all saw that. He said that, oh, Shedeur Sanders got his jersey retired. A lot of people think it's nepotism because he's Deion Samba. No, it's because he went 13-12 as a starter and almost won the Alamo Bowl. Definitely not nepotism. Of course it was nepotism. There's some former great Colorado players that still ain't had their jersey retired that played on national title teams, played on Big 12 championship teams. Just a disrespectful move by Deion. I will give Deion credit. Last year, he did prove me wrong a little bit. I was down on him last year after they gave themselves a chance to be in the playoff hunt at the end of the season. Like I said, Big 12, in a couple of years, they may have a title contender with the revenue sharing and stuff and NIL. Right now, it's definitely the most competitive conference, but as far as the team in it going to win a title, I just don't see it, at least for another few years. Let's go over Georgia Tech here. Rambling wreck, Georgia Tech's going to pound that ball down Deion Sanders' throat. Don't see any way they beat Georgia Tech. Haynes King. Georgia Tech was really coming on last year. Think they're way too physical for Colorado. So I'm going to give them a loss there. And then pretty sure at Delaware, surely they can beat Delaware. You got Houston. I could see them beating Houston. So there's 2-1. Wyoming, 3-1. Daggone, no wonder they're 6.5 wins. They ain't got nobody on the schedule. BYU, before they lost their quarterback, or if you know, you know, we'll discuss that when we get to BYU. I would have picked BYU to beat them for sure. Now I'm going to give out a toss-up game. TCU, I think TCU beats them. They got Josh Hoover. I think TCU's one of the underrated teams in the Big 12 this year. Tennessee had called up Josh Hoover, offered him a little Chick-fil-A bag like old Pruitt used to do. But he didn't want to leave his teammates. Much respect to him for that. I can't fault him for that. Then Iowa State, I'm going to give him a loss there. So what's 3-3 with the toss-up game on there. Utah, I think Utah is going to be improved this year too. So I'm going to give him a loss there. Arizona goes as Fafita goes. They could be pretty good this year, could not be. And they got Arizona State, Kansas State. Yeah. Bang the under on that one. Makes me happy to see. This is the year you're going to know what Deion really is made of without his boy and his boy's old buddy, old Travis Hunter. Tell me in the comments if you think Travis Hunter has a long NFL career. The way Deion used him in college, I think he played in way too many snaps. I think Travis is a damn good ball player. One of the best, really, in college football the last 3 years. But I think Deion was looking for wins in college and not looking at Travis's career. So bang the under on that one. That's one I'm very confident in. I just don't see any way they get over 6.5 wins. I don't see them making it to 7. You could disagree with me. You could call me a Deion hater, which I kind of am. It just is the way he acts. Not for me. Obviously, it works for some of them kids and stuff. That's cool. But it's just not me. Don't like the way he went in there and done all them kids like that. Blah, blah, blah. Enough about Neon Deion, prime time. Let's move on. We're going to go to the Baylor Bears. Okay. Baylor Bears, people. We got them starting out against Auburn. like I said about the couple before, this will really determine whether they hit the over-under on their win total here. Because Auburn's a wild card. I don't see Auburn being that great in the SEC this year, but I really think they'll go. Let's see, is it on the road or at home? It's on the road. It's at Auburn. So I'm going to give Auburn a win on that one. They're over under win total 7.5, by the way. Then they go to SMU. SMU goes to them. See, that is another loss. I think that Bulldog, I know it's a terrible team, so I'm going to give them a win there. So that's 1 and 2. Arizona State. That's 1 and 3. Oklahoma State, I think people are sleeping on Oklahoma State after the year they had last year. Gundy is that coach. Every time they got expectations, they seem to suck. But when there's no expectations, he ends up winning 8, 9, 10 games. I'll give you my win total for them here in a minute. But I might give Baylor that one. K-State, that's a loss. So that's already, 4 losses. And then Utah, TCU. Banged the under on this one, too. Vegas agrees with that. They're minus 134 on the under and plus 110 on the over. If you know anything about betting, plus means that it's less likely to happen. Minus means it's more likely to happen. So they think it's more likely that Baylor hits the under, too. So they seem to agree with me on that one. So if you're taking Baylor, bang the under. I'm thinking probably 6, maybe 7 wins with that schedule, which ain't terrible, but I don't think it's enough for Dave Aranda to keep his job. Just to be honest, he's already been on the hot seat. He kind of cooled it off last year with the season. They had a pretty good this season. Their quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, came on pretty good. I think he had like 20-some touchdowns to 7, 8 interceptions. Up next, Josh Heupel's former team, UCF Knights. I know a lot of y'all are not football fanatics like me. I wonder how many of y'all know that Scott Frost is back at UCF. He's the one who went undefeated with them, and they claimed a national title a few years ago. He is back after his disastrous run at Nebraska. They're one of those teams that's hard to tell on. I can't tell you I can't really see this that good on these first 2, but it looks like 2 scrubs. So I'd say that's probably 2 wins. They're over under 6.5. Then they got North Carolina, Bill Belichick. That's a toss-up. K-State, I would say lost. Kansas lost. Baylor lost. Texas Tech lost. Oklahoma State lost. BYU toss-up. Houston toss-up. Cincinnati toss-up. West Virginia toss-up. Basically, they'd have to go undefeated in toss-up games for me to get them to 7 wins. I'm agreeing with Vegas on this one. Bang the under on the UCF Knights. That's 155, so that means they're even more confident in that one than they was on the other ones. So if you're betting on UCF, hit the under. Malzahn was the coach there, former coach at Auburn. He was the coach at UCF. And I'm going to guess they don't have that much NIL and money to throw out because he didn't get fired, but he still just left to go be Florida State's offensive coordinator. And there's been a couple coaches do that. At these small schools now, I mean, if they don't have money to throw around, you're better off just going to be an offensive or defensive coordinator at a big school and doing good there and hoping a bigger school calls you after you do good there instead of trying to win at a smaller school. Or if you do get good players, they get took from you from bigger schools, and you ain't got the money to compete. So it's kind of hard. We got TCU here. They're over under set at 6.5. They got North Carolina to start. Abilene Christian, that's a win. I think they'll beat Colorado. Got Baylor, West Virginia, Iowa State, BYU, Houston, Cincinnati. Josh Hoover, I think, is going to be top 3 quarterback in the Big 12. Like I said, Big 12 is so hard to predict because everybody's so close to each other. It's the most competitive conference they are. There is no 2 or 3 teams that stand out. Even the Big 12 commissioner said that at Big 12 media days. And he said he knows that that's going to have to change for them to compete for titles in the playoffs. But as far as you tuning in on Saturday and seeing a good game, most Big 12 games, that's what they're going to be. The line's going to be within the touchdown, -6.5, something like that most time. And it's going to be a close, really most time, offensive shootout. It's fun to watch. I can see I'm going to go over. And tell me what Vegas thinks on this one. Like I said, I just went on there and screenshot it so we'd have a reference point on here. So TCU, bang that over, 6.5 wins. I'm going to say that's probably, Vegas will probably give them the under, but I believe in their quarterback Hoover that much. And they've had a couple down years after that national title run. I don't think it's Sonny Dykes. I don't think he's that great of a coach, but he is a pretty good coach. And TCU will spend money. They're Texas school. They got that oil money. Like I said, I think Hoover is one of the better quarterbacks in the conference. And in that conference, quarterback play is huge. It's huge in every conference. But in that conference, it's even more where they're so closely even on the teams that having the best quarterback on the field can prepare you to win more than even in another conference. So bang that over 6.5 on TCU. I'd say that's one of the more confident ones I've had. I've had a couple ones I'm confident on. I'm going to, when I get paid this week, I'm going to put me in a little parlay ski on some over-unders, if you know what a parlay is. Some people don't like parlays because they are hard to get. They're so hard to turn down too, though, because you bet straight up. You put $10 on it, you might win 20 back. And if you make your little 3 or 4 team parlay, put $10 on it, you might win about 150. It's so tempting because the big money you can win if you hit. But my favorite YouTuber, Josh Pate, he does Friday Night Lines on Instagram. If you get on there, you even mention parlay, he kicks your ass out. He calls it the P word. Like, you know what? My P word and his P word's 2 different things if you catch my drift. Arizona State. They lost Cam Scatterboot. Still got Sam Levitt. Their over-under is 8.5. They think under is going to hit more than... No. Yeah, under 8.5 is more likely to happen than over. Who they got? NAU. I'm going to guess that's Northern Arizona. Lame. Mississippi State. I could see them winning that one. Texas State. I could see them winning that one. Then we get the Big 12 play. Got Arizona. I could see them winning that one. Colorado. I could see them winning that one. That'd be 5 wins. Houston. I can see them winning that one. That'd be 6. Iowa State, I think they'll take that. There's 7. Baylor, there's 8. And they just have to win one of these other ones. I'm going to go against Vegas on this one, and we're going to hit the over on Arizona State. Give me 9 to 10 wins for Arizona State. I really like their coach. I like their quarterback. Sam Levitt, well, they will miss Cam Scatterboot. But I think they've done enough and kept enough to surpass 8.5. So if you're betting with me on that one, hit the over on Arizona State. If y'all would like me to share my over-under parlay with y'all after we go through all the conferences, y'all let me know in the comments section. We'll try to make a little bit of money together. I need it so I can upgrade my equipment here. Next up, the Houston Zach Wilson Cougars. If you know who Zach Wilson is, you know what I mean when I say the Houston Zach Wilson Cougars. That boy loves him some Cougars. Let's see, their over-under is 5.5. Is favored with an implied probability. Money line odds. Let's see. Looks like Stephen F. Austin, that's a win. Rice, that's a win. Oregon State, I'll give them a win there. They do have Willie Fritz as their coach, by the way, y'all. He was the one who built Tulane up. So they do have a good coach. He's in his second year there, so I do think they'll make a little jump. How big of a jump? To be determined. Looking at this schedule, they got Colorado, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Arizona State, West Virginia, UCF, there's UCF, TCU. Bang under on this one. I think Willie Fritz takes a step, maybe 5 wins this year. Then possibly next year, he takes that next step and gets them up to 7, 8 wins. I like a coach that builds the program the right way, takes a year or two, sticks to their principles. I think Willie Fritz can turn that program around. So if you're rocking on that one, let's go under 5.5. Up next, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is out here making it like Fat Joe. They're making it rain. Like Jesse Murphy, they're throwing blue strips at recruits and players. They just spent $5 million on offensive linemen for this class coming up, y'all. And they spent big money in the portal this year. Let's see. There's this little blurry. I can't tell who that first team is, but I'm pretty sure it's a scrub Division II team or something like that. I'll give them a win there. Kent State, win. Oregon State, win. Utah, toss up. Houston, win. Kansas, toss up if Jalen Daniels is healthy. Arizona State, that'll be a hell of a game. Oklahoma State, I'm going to give Texas Tech that one. So that's 3, 4, 5. Kansas State, that'll be a hell of a game. I give them the win against BYU, UCF. And as much as I hate them, give them the win against West Virginia, too. That's 8. So that means they just have to win one of Utah, Arizona State, and Kansas State. Hold on. Kansas is the other one. That one's a home. Give me the over for Texas Tech. I'm going to give them 9 wins. Do like their coach, Joey McGuire. Quarterback, Baron Morton. He's going to be the difference if they actually make that or not. He's been up and down. Maybe I just think they got more talent than most Big 12 teams. So we're going to bang the over on that one. Bang it so hard that you break your damn keyboard. Give me Texas Tech. 9 wins. Maybe pushing 10. I'm going to take Texas Tech on the over there. I think Vegas had them on the under. So, Cincinnati. Oh, what's our coach's name? Marcus Satterfield. He's from Appalachian State. Appalachian State didn't even really want to keep him. But for some reason, no, Louisville. Yeah, he went from Appalachian State to Louisville. Louisville didn't even really want to keep him, but for some reason, Cincinnati came calling and hired him, and let Louisville get Brom from Purdue. So it's literally like they just done Louisville a favor and saved them a buyout. They're over under a 6.5. They start Nebraska. That's a loss to me. Bowling Green, that's a win. Northwestern State, I think is what that says. I ain't got very good eyes. That's a win. So there's 2-1. Kansas, I'm going to say that's a loss. Jalen Daniels. Iowa State, that's a loss. UCF, that's a toss-up. Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State's better this year. I'm going to give them a win there. Baylor, give them a win there. Utah win, yeah. Bang the under on that one. The over is plus 125, so Vegas agrees. Under 6.5 for Cincinnati. I don't even know if they make it to 6. I think they might only win 5. Maybe not even 5. So bang the under on Cincinnati. I know we're hitting the under on a lot of these. Only over on a couple, but that's how it's got to work for somebody to win the conference. You feel me? So we're moving right along here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more teams to go, y'all. Just bear with me. Like I said, this is going to be one of the longer videos I've done. The BYU Fighting Mormons. Boy, there's some juicy story coming out of there. They got the honor code. Basically, players are not allowed to have premarital sex, and if you get caught, your ass is off the team. BYU is throwing out some money for some players in basketball and football. They just recruited a pretty sure 5-star quarterback. He says he's not going to play his first year. He's going to take his little Mormon trip, which a lot of them do. We got Keenan Peely from them. And, man, when he went out last year, our defense, it made a big difference, which he was also where they do that Mormon trip. He was like 26 last year, so he's a grown man out there playing against college kids, basically. Man, Keenan Peely was a freaking thumper, boy. He got hurt. Our defense did drop down a step, but I think we got that figured out this year. But we're not talking about us right now. We're talking about BYU. Their star quarterback had premarital sex. The girl tried to say it was non-consensual. Then they found out it was consensual. But even though it was consensual, where he broke the BYU honor code, he's out the door. So now they're without their starting quarterback. Look up some stuff about BYU. Them Mormons, they're wild. They do a thing called soaking. Look up what soaking is. I mean, dang, what's the difference? And anyway, I don't know. Portland State. This is off topic. Portland State's trying to come to Division I. They're spending money in basketball and football. They're trying to come up. I think they got Shaq involved in basketball, Mike Bibby in basketball. They got somebody involved in football. I can't remember. But be on the lookout for them the next 5 years. They built up some NIL money, and they're trying to come up in the world. They actually signed a top 100 player, I think, for football. I mean, that's just what NIL has done. Teams like Georgia, Bama, us, all of us, we still get top players. If you notice, Georgia's got like 9 or 10 3-stars in this recruiting class. They average like 4 or 5. So they're still signing the big dogs, but you can't get the depth you used to get. They had to go somewhere else or they know they're going to start instead of coming to your team to be a depth piece. But back on topic, got Portland State. that's a win right now. But look, like I said, look out for Portland State in the next 5 years if they do get to move up. Because they're investing heavily in their sports and they got some big name guys backing them. West Virginia, like I said, I'm up and down on West Virginia. I do like Rich Rod. I like what they brought in. They brought in so many players I can't keep up. Kind of like a Deion Sanders overhaul, but I think Rich Rod's a way better coach than Deion. So that's a toss-up. So we'll say one. It's a toss-up right now. Texas Tech lost. Stanford, I'll give them a win there. That's 2-1. West Virginia toss-up at Arizona. That's a tough game. I'll call that a toss-up right now, too. TCU. I'll give TCU the win there at East Carolina. There's another win, so that's 1, 2, 3 wins right now, and some toss-ups. Utah, I'm going to give them a loss at Utah. Utah's got a daggone athlete at quarterback this year. He's not the greatest passer. If he improves on his passing, watch out for Utah. And they one of those teams, too. They've had it down a couple of years. But Whittingham, he's done nothing but win there. Let's see. Cincinnati, I'll give you a win there. So that gives you 4 wins for sure so far. Colorado, I'll give you a toss-up there. Iowa State, that's a loss. UCF, I'll give you that win. So we're at, 5 wins for sure in the toss-up games. Bang the under on BYU. If they had kept their quarterback, I'd have told you to hit the over. They lost their quarterback off of him having consensual sex, which goes on at every college campus in America. But you can't do it at BYU, and you know that when you go there, so I don't really feel sorry for him. A couple people's mentioned that kid maybe coming to Tennessee. I don't see it happening because we've already got Aguilar and our other guys. Don't want to run nobody off. So I don't see it happening. I'm sure he'll find somewhere to go. He may have to sit this year out and then come back next year. We'll see. Let's keep this train rolling. Up next, Mike the Mullet Gundy. All right. Ooh, they got Oregon on the schedule. I'll go ahead and tell you that's a loss. Their over-under's 5.5. I don't know who his first team is, but that's obviously a win. Get a win against Tulsa. Loss against Oregon, there's 2-1. Baylor, Arizona, I think they win one of those. I think they beat Houston. That's 4 wins. I think they can beat Cincinnati. There's 5. I think they beat UCF. Banged over on them. I told you, Gundy's that coach. Watch and see if they don't win 8 or 9 games this year. Every time Gundy has low expectations, his team plays good. Every time they have high expectations, they choke. Tennessee tried to hire old Gundy a few times. He's a man. He's 40. If you want to come with somebody, come with him. If you don't remember that rant, you're not a true college football fan. I know a lot of y'all do. Oh, Gundy, he's a damn nut. I love his press conferences. But I got him hitting over this year. Gundy's just that type of dude. So y'all hit the over on Oklahoma State. What do we got up next? Don't tell me my daggone computer's going to start acting up now. There we go. The Kansas Rock'em Chock'em Jayhawks. Let's see. Fresno State. Some other team I don't know. So there's 2 wins. Then they got to travel to Missouri. There's 2-1. West Virginia. Toss up. Cincinnati. That's 3 wins. UCF 4. I'm banging the under on them, y'all. Just don't see them getting over 7.5 for Texas Tech, Kansas State, Iowa State, Utah. I think that's 4 losses right there. That means they have to win a few of their toss-up games. I don't see them doing that. Now, if Jalen Daniels stays healthy, it is possible, but Kansas, we're going to bang the under on it. I like Lance Leipold, what he's done with the program. I mean, if you're winning 6 games a year at Kansas, you should get a job somewhere else, because before he got there, they was winning 1 or 2 games a year if they even won that. So put some respect on their coach's name, but I like the under there. The fact he's even got them at 7.5 over/under win total tells you how good of a coach he is, because Kansas football has never been good. They had one good year back in 2007. That was the craziest year in college football. Maybe we'll make a video about that sometime. If you remember 2007, it was absolutely bonkers. Kansas was ranked in the top 5 at one point. Went 10-2 with Mangino, I think his name was. Big old coach, weighed about 500 pounds. Todd Reesing at quarterback. West Virginia was on their way to the national title. All they had to do was beat Pitt in the backyard brawl. Pitt was like 3-8 that year, and Pat White got hurt, and they screwed around and lost. Anyway, next up, Arizona Wildcats. I love their quarterback. I just don't know if they got enough around it. Even last year with the freaking first-round pick at wide receiver, Tetairoa McMillan, they struggled, but it's because their coach, Jedd Fisch, went to Washington. His players didn't follow him, so I respect them for that. A few of them did, but the main players, the star players, didn't. They're over-under 5.5. Under is the favorite here. Let's go over. Hawaii, that's a win. Weber State, that's a win. There's 2 wins. Kansas State lost. Iowa State lost. Oklahoma State, I'm going to say that's a loss. BYU, probably a loss. Houston could be a win. So there's 3-3, I think. Yep, 3-3. Colorado, I think they could possibly beat Colorado. That's 4 wins. Kansas, toss up. I'm going to go over on them. I think they can beat Cincinnati. I think they'll can beat Colorado, Houston, Hawaii, Weber State. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just got to pull one more of those off somewhere in there. I think they're going to hit the over. I think Noah Fafita is good enough to get them to 6. So we're going to go, plus 120. Hey, even if you just bet that straight up, you put 10 on, that's like $21, $22. You making money, baby. So bang the over on the daggone Wildcats. And last, but definitely not least, the Utah Utes. Let's see, UCLA. Please, sweet baby infant laying in the manger Jesus, as Ricky Bobby said, please let Utah beat the brakes off UCLA. Please. I hope they freaking have 10 sacks on Nico's ass. Make him regret it at the beginning of the season leaving Tennessee. So give me a win over UCLA just off the fact that I hope they beat Nico's freaking brains in, knock his dick in the dirt, whatever you want to say. They got to beat UCLA for us. That'd be a hell of an opening week if Tennessee could beat Syracuse and UCLA got their ass whooped. Cal Poly, there's a win. There's 2 wins. They're over under 7.5, by the way. I seen that UCLA and I got fired up. Y'all know how I am over Nico if you've been watching the channel. Wyoming, there's 3-0. Texas Tech, I'm going to go 3-1 there. West Virginia, I'll give them 4-1 as much as I like West Virginia. Arizona State, there's 4-2. Think that might be BYU right there. We'll give them a win there. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-2. I'll give them a win against Colorado. There's 6. Win against Cincinnati. There's 7. This guy win one of Baylor and Kansas because I think they lose to Kansas State. We're going to bang the over. We're going to agree with Vegas on this one. They're going to get to 8 wins. Now for my picks for the Big 12 title game. We're going to go Kansas State, Arizona State. Most of the country is picking Arizona State because I got Sam Leavitt. Give me Kansas State and the upset. Avery Johnson proves to be the best quarterback in the Big 12 this year. I don't know. I just like Kansas State's coaching staff, and I think Avery Johnson's going to take a big step this year. And call me crazy. Everybody's riding Sam Leavitt's jock right now. He is pretty good for a redshirt freshman, but I don't think he's as good as everybody else does. A lot of people's talking about him being a first-round pick. I think he takes a step back this year with the other teams not having to load the box with Scatterboo there. So give me Kansas State to win the Big 12. You can write that down. You can take a picture. I don't give a... If you know that reference, you're an OG. So take that to the bank. If you want to bet on the winner of the Big 12, I'm not sure what the odds are, but take Kansas State. We're locking that in. It's right here for everybody to see when it happens. If it doesn't happen, you can come back and ridicule me. We'll maybe do a show at the end of the season. See what we hit on, what we didn't hit on. I'm going to try to make a Twitter, all that good stuff. I want y'all to get involved. I want y'all to tell me what y'all's bold predictions for the seasons are. What do you think will win what conference? What you think? Say you think Sam Leavitt will win the Heisman, Arizona State win the title. We'll do, Josh Pate does a segment like this. I think it's fun. So I think we're going to do one if I can get enough followers and subscribers to join in on it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave comments if you're liking the videos. If you don't, tell me what I can do to make you like them. We're going to go over a couple of little Tennessee nuggets here. We got the non-conference schedule is out. I'm not going to go over the cream puffs that we play. I'm going to go over the big games we got. And we got Louisville, Illinois, Rutgers, Houston, and Syracuse. 100% sure on that. And we're in the Players Era Festival, and that has a bunch of good teams in it. That's where we play Houston and Rutgers at. And according to how that goes, we'll play a third day against somebody. Let's see, the teams in it's Alabama, Houston, Rutgers, Notre Dame, Oregon, San Diego State, Creighton, Maryland, Gonzaga, Michigan, Syracuse, St. John's, Iowa State, Kansas, Baylor, Tennessee, UNLV, and Auburn. Every one of those teams were in the tournament last year except for UNLV. So that's going to be a hell of a damn tournament. Non-conference tournament. So by the time the Vols get to the SEC play this year in basketball, they will be battle tested, which is a good thing. Rick Barnes always does that. That way when you're in conference play, you done played some hard games. You don't just schedule a bunch of cream puffs. Then you get to conference play and you get humbled a little bit. So I do like that. And the last two things I want to go over with y'all is where the media picked the Vols to finish in football. They picked us to finish 10th in the SEC. I don't see it. I think Aguilar will be successful. I think Tennessee can win with them. Nico was not the reason we made the playoffs last year. Did he contribute some? Obviously, yes, he did. Could his numbers be replicated? Yes, they can. If we can replicate our defense from last year, run the ball, Aguilar hit a couple deep balls, the Vols will be right where they need to be again. And we had 3 guys on preseason All-SEC. Jermod McCoy, preseason SEC first team, which he's a preseason All-American. If he's healthy, he tore his ACL after the season. If he comes back healthy, he's locked down one of the top 2 or 3 corners in the country. Arion Carter made third team, and Boo Carter made third team. I think Boo Carter will end up on first team. I think Arion Carter will end up on first team. They're both younger guys, going to make big strides. I love the media disrespecting us. We already got a chip on our shoulder over the way Nico done us. We going to have a chip on our shoulder after the way the media's disrespected us in media days. So I look for a big season out of those boys, and I would bet my daggone year's salary that we do not finish 10th in the SEC. That's going to be all for this episode, y'all. I told you it's going to be a long one. We're at 51 minutes. Hope y'all enjoy. Watch all the way through. Tell me what you think about my predictions. Tomorrow we'll have another banger. I think we're going to do ACC tomorrow. Then we're going to do Big Ten, then SEC. And then we'll do some other fun stuff. I keep coming up with ideas. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Smash that like button, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. As always, go Vols.